It's a 1 million cups tradition to provide a standing ovation to our presenter today, KP with Nymbl Technologies. All right, let's rock it.
Thanks and good morning. This is, yep. My name is Prabhakar Curry. I go by KP. That's my business partner, Eric Matson. And we started this company, Nymbl Technologies, about 2016, September 2016. So it's been about 15 months. And the reason, the background is basically, Eric, as I said, is a fitness trainer. I am a couch potato for the most part. But I started, about in 2007 or 2008, it just somehow this crazy idea that I wanted to run a marathon, and I had never run more than 3 miles in my life. And so I started training for the Twin Cities Marathon. I ran 3 or 4 of them so far. And my best time so far has been only 4 hours and 26 minutes. So those of you who run, it's a 10-minute mile pace, okay? In the marathon circles, that's called walking. It's 26 miles of walking. So to be truly considered a marathoner, you're supposed to run it under 4 hours, which is a 9-minute mile pace, okay? So okay, and what's the big deal, right? But it's a big deal for me. I'm not a lifetime athlete. I never ran before. So as I was training for my Twin Cities marathon and the other marathons that I'd ran, my long runs were always on the weekends when I would run 10 miles or more. And 2 or 3 months into my training, I'd get lower back pain because I was running for 2 hours, 3 hours. All the pounding was taking a toll. My doctor took a quick look and he said, nothing wrong with your back, it's you just need physiotherapy or maybe even, fitness. So then I went and talked to Eric Matson. Eric Matson had a studio called Fitness Together in Chanhassen. And it was an interesting conversation. It was a Saturday evening. I was driving by. I think I was going to get pizza. But anyway, I saw this place right next to it. And I said, I just walked in at 4:30 in the afternoon, to Saturday afternoon. I said, hey, I'm training for this Twin Cities Marathon, and my lower back hurts. He said, let me do an assessment, right? And I'm sure I got an F- on that. But he made me do things. He doesn't give out Fs. If he did, he would have given. Anyway, so he did that, and he says, well, nothing wrong with your back. What's wrong is your upper body. Your upper body is weak, and so let's fix that. And he said, my guess is if you fix your upper body, make it stronger, you will slouch less, you will take the pressure off your backbone, and hopefully it'll improve your backache issue, right? And I said, fine, just fix it. I don't care. So we agreed on the economics of it. That was the more tough conversation for me. And so I said one-on-one training 3 times a week. So I started going to his gym, and Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays and Wednesdays he did one-on-one training with me, upper body or legs or lower body, whatever he wanted to. And then Thursdays was a group training, more aerobic and intensity. So 9 months into this, my back pain went away. Okay, so I was feeling better. My lower back pain went away. I haven't had lower back pain in years now. So I believe in that. So workouts work, But then I was like I said, my background is I'm an investment banker. I used to be an investment banker. Corporate America, I was doing a lot of mergers and acquisitions and investments, and I do a lot of numbers. I love Excel, right? If I could marry Excel, oh no, I shouldn't say that. My wife wouldn't like that. But anyway, so Eric took lots of notes and numbers on a spreadsheet every time I went in, right? He had a clipboard. He would write down everything that I did. He'd take notes on how I was doing, every muscle group. And then, like I said, 9 months into it, I said, show me my data. I said, show me how much better I am. And just don't say you're 20% better. Show me by muscle group, right? Because he tracks these and he designs these exercises by muscle group. I said, show me how much stronger my biceps are, triceps are, quads, lats, And this was a Thursday, and he says, let's have this conversation next week. I'm like, why? He says, I have all this data, sure, but I haven't put it back in Excel. I need to put it back in Excel, and he uses Excel too. And I'll draw some graphs, and it's going to take me a few hours. So let's have this conversation next week. I'm like, this is crazy, right? This is the 21st century. Amazon gives me stuff the same day. I can't wait till next week. You got to give me numbers right now. Anyway, so that was the conversation. That was like, aha, okay, how can I help him? The other thing, then we got talking, and then he had a Mac and he had a PC, and he had, he had two other trainers. They were answering telephones and texting and everything. And he said, "This is really frustrating, KP. This takes a lot of time every week. I spend 8 hours or more every week just doing administrative stuff, scheduling, rescheduling, payments, and all that stuff. I really don't have time to do things that I really like, which is training people and showing them how they're doing." So I said, wait a minute. Okay, we should be able to do something about this. So with that, we started with this. And whoops, let's see if we can get this right. That's it. We founded it in September 2016. Our vision is it's time to retire the clipboard, right? I mean, a lot of trainers, every good trainer in all the big gyms, you'll see them, you've seen them, right? Walking around with clipboards. They're taking good data. We're like, we need to get rid of the clipboard, put it on an iPad or a tablet. That's simply the vision, right? For every trainer in the United States, or hopefully the entire world, get rid of the clipboards, right? So I don't have anything personally against the clipboards, but we want to get rid of them. So with that, I'll let Eric talk about what he sees.
All right, so like KP was saying, I had a lot of different tools that I was using on a daily basis. It's kind of funny that if you ever want to be a trainer and not train anybody, become a trainer or own a business, because I spend more of my time doing other things other than training. So like KP said, at that time I had 2 employees. They did a lot of the training. I did the pickup training, but I had to do all the administrative stuff. And the reason it was so difficult was that we had clipboards, we had smartphones, we had laptops, we had payment devices, we had a program to re-enter data into so I can give him graphs and show him where his accomplishments are. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of working left-handed here, so I'm normally right-handed. But anyways, so all these things were taking up my time in trying to basically show the client where they're at as far as scheduling and payments and all these things are, where I wasn't actually physically training, designing programs, things that they're actually trying to accomplish. So that's really what we've come up with, is a tool that's in one spot. Like KP was saying, we had all these different computers and clipboards. I had a filing cabinet, probably easily these 3 tables long, filled with clients' files. And they'd come back and say, what did we do 2 years ago? That was so great. I really enjoyed that one exercise. And I'm thumbing through papers, finding their old files. I kept them. I still have them. So all these reports and schedules now are all condensed into one little platform. It's in an iPad. Now, I have no business being in technology. I'm a coach by trade. I coached college football in the past. I'm a strength coach, all those fun things. So this has been a real interesting adventure in how you take all this and just pile it into one device. I've learned a lot with that.
So our initial focus is the domestic fitness market, and we thought long and hard because we spent a lot of time figuring out, where could we take this and what other industries can we apply this to. So fitness is about a $47 billion market in the United States. That's how much money it generates. So the big gyms alone, the Lifetime Fitnesses, the LA Fitnesses, they are about a $27 billion business. And then there's a huge trend, and Eric can talk to it, in smaller format gyms, like a studio, where it's more intimate. There's not as many people grunting and lifting 200 pounds and making you feel really bad. There's more. There's more one-on-one and small group training, right? And that's about a $20 billion business. So just that's fitness alone. Does not include yoga. Does not include Pilates. Does not include bicycle, cycling, or swimming. Just fitness and strength training. And then the physio and occupational therapy market is about $22 billion. So we said, those are big markets, big chunks. Let's start. Where do we want to start? We want to start with focusing on independent and small, medium businesses. Businesses like Eric. Eric had 3 trainers. There's a lot of business in the Twin Cities alone that have 2 or 3 gyms, and maybe 5 employees, 7 employees. We're not trying to target the Lifetime Fitnesses yet, because they already have invested millions of dollars into their systems, and they have systems in place. But folks like Eric Mattson have absolutely no tools to actually do everything that they need to do. It's the fastest growing segment. It's growing about 7%, 6.7% annually. The market for fitness apps is very small right now. I mean, there's a lot of apps for individuals like you and me. We can go online and find a free app, right? And there's lots of apps like that, but there's nothing that's focused on the trainers. So it's a very nascent and emerging market. So we think that we conservatively estimated, like we said, let's say 10% of the fitness trainers use this app, and they pay about $100 a month. So we think it's about $1 billion. It seems small, but it's the adjacencies are pretty large. And then we think that the international market is about half as much again. And this is just the fitness app for trainers. The long-term goal is to service the insurance industries with fitness data analytics. I like data. I've done a lot of data analysis, and I can see the insurance industry. My last job was at Prime Therapeutics, which services the Blue Cross Blue Shields. And they love this. I mean, there's many of you, if you work in large corporations, you probably have an incentive to wear a Fitbit, and if you walk 10,000 steps a day, you get $30 off a month or something like that. My wife does that. So the insurance industry is going to be huge all over it. Now, these guys get a lot of data, and that data is, like you said, going into a filing cabinet. And there's more data on me that he knows than a doctor will ever know. So we think an insurance industry is going to be the next logical step for us eventually. That's a much bigger market. Okay, maybe you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, this is what we are trying to accomplish in one app, is that all this now comes and centralizes into one component, so any reports, any scheduling, there's a customized library that goes in there, so now I'm not going off the top of my head or have, an Excel worksheet that's, I don't know how many pages long of exercises. Like I said, someone comes back 2 years later and says, hey, I really like those lunges that we did. How did we do those? And I'm going, lunges? I see, 60 people in a week. How am I supposed to do 60 sessions in a week? How am I supposed to remember 2 years ago? So that library comes into play there. Client management's a big thing. And KP talked about, the big gyms, and then there's all these little independent trainers. And that's really where this comes into play. Big box gyms are great. They have everything, and they're for some people. But there's a segment of the community, there's a segment of people that are like, and it's like millions cups. All right, why are you here? Because people. All right, that's why I'm a small, independent trainer, not a big box gym. I just need enough people to sustain a life, sustain a living. I don't need to meet sales quotas. I don't need to meet all these other things that go with it. I don't need to climb the corporate ladder. I want to meet people. I want to have a relationship with people. When KP says I have a sore back, I want to be able to focus on him as a person and treat him as an individual. Not worry about, is he going to renew? Is he going to do all these other things? Now, yes, as a business person, you want to make sure the person renews. But if you're managing the person, they will renew because you build a relationship. All right, and that's the big part of this whole thing. Is this client management? Is economics of them, what they can afford, what they can't afford. You understand the scheduling. Who has kids, who doesn't have kids, who can have time at what certain times. It helps manage that. Can they help schedule themselves? Can they come in and say, hey, it's a snow day, we got 12 inches of snow. I can't make it, so let's scratch that off the books and let me get it in on Tuesday. So that's some things that we want to be able to pull in also. Assessments like he was talking about, just everyday kind of updates. Where am I? I don't know if anybody in this room has ever been through the process. I'll just name the number one concern, the number one goal that people come to me with is, I need weight loss. And then they start tracking weight loss, and they're like, Eric, I'm up 2 pounds. Eric, I'm down 3 pounds. I'm up 1 more pound. Now I'm down 4 pounds. And it's just, it's up and down, and they get so locked in on a daily basis that they don't see, it's like watching the stock market, hey, it's either going down or it's going up, So over a period of time. So those assessments and then reporting on it. And these are all then be tied into one device, handheld. So now instead of carrying a bag around with everybody's files for my daily trainings, I'm carrying around one iPad. It's easy, it's simple. It's what we want.
So we developed a native mobile app. Right now we only have the iOS version. Android is in the works. A couple of reasons. One is iOS is, from a tablet perspective, it's the largest market share in the US. It's about 60%, I believe, tablets. And then two, version management and is very difficult with Android because iOS Apple controls it. It's obviously cloud-based and accessible anywhere you are. That's our product. Let's see. So these are some screenshots. On the left, that's just a live screenshot of a workout. This is the assessments, we can track, and there's a list that, and historically you can go back and look how your body has been responding, and you can graph it. And this is just data. This is just the data dump, and there'll be reports based on that data of what you've been working out. So our revenue model is a software SaaS model, monthly subscriptions. Our goal is to target a small to medium-sized business. They typically spend about $3,000 to $4,000 or maybe even $5,000 on technology every year. So our goal is to kind of be somewhere in the $1,000 to $2,000 range for now. And that's our goal. Competition. There aren't any direct competitors right now. Most people focus on club management. That's for the big gyms. Then there's the fitness and wellness equipment. This company called eGym out of Germany is really interesting. They have a unique business model. They want to remove the trainer from the gym completely. So their machines are all computer controlled, and they have a very nice app. So you walk in, and it's a computer controlled machine. Think about Armageddon, right? The machine takes over, and you're locked, and you can't get out. They have very interesting machines. The software firms, there's the software firms that do a lot of software, and there's a wellness firm, and they're high end, and they're focused on wellness and well-being. So there is really no direct competitors. We're competing with the clipboard because everybody likes the comfort and the familiarity and the ease of a clipboard. So that's our real competitor right now. Let's see. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, JP.